Good afternoon, everyone. As we are continue with the kinematics and kinetics of the gate, today we will talk about the sagittal plane moment and what are the moment or what are the forces that will be occur into the different plane and axis. So, first is sagittal plane. So, in stance phase, the algebraic sum of all internal moments acting at the hip, knee and ankle, which is the positive or extensor internal moment. So what they told कि in sagittal plane moment, what are the moment will be occur that will be occur into the hip, knee and ankle joint. Okay, so which is the positive or extensor internal moment. Now one author named Winter called that this quantification of the total limb synergy a support moment, and he also found that extensor support moment to be consistent for all walking speed for both normal individual as well as the person with disabilities. So what he told कि whatever the limb synergy or support moment will be occur into this joint, that this because of this extensor support moment to be it could be consist for all walking speed as well as for both normal as well as for the normal individual also and for the disability person also. So this is about the sagittal plane moment. Next, what are the this diagram will show that joint position during the joint position as well as the center of pressure point into the different event of the gait cycle. Next is into the internal extensor moment keeps the leg from collapsing during the stance phase. So this external moments or external force, it will keeps away the leg, keeps away both the leg from and also it will prevent the collapse during the stance phase. Now because hip and knee moment may vary considerably among individual as long as the net moment remain an internal extensor moment. So because of the hip and knee joint forces, it may vary considerably into the sagittal plane and among all the individuals as long as the net moment it will remain an internal extensor moment. Now ankle plantar flexions which are deficient and hip extensor and knee extensor are compensate. So during this sagittal plane moment or during the different event of the gait cycle, this hip extensor as well as the knee extensor will compensate with each other, where the ankle plantar flexions which will work as a deficient. Now if knee extensor are deficient, hip and extensor and ankle plantar flexors muscle will compensate with each other. So this is about the muscle that will work together, and it will compensate with together to complete that work or to complete that event for the gait. Next is the support moment provide backdrop to understand the joint moment profiles for each other. Now hip extension will provide all of the positive moment in the early stance, but it is soon joined by an internal knee extensor moment. So in figure you can see that during the flexion moment the quadricep muscle will work concentrically and into the gait. So hip extensors muscle will provide all the positive moment into the early stance phase, but it's soon when the joint will be joined by an internal knee extensor moment also. So this is about the sagittal plane moment. Now next, the moment which will identify only the potential of the muscle group to support, but it will not show whether the muscle is lengthening or shortening is occurring. So as the forces will identify on as the forces that will identify only during the only about the muscle group to support, that what are the muscle will support each other during the gait cycle, but it will not show that it won't show that which muscle is going for the lengthening and which muscle is going for the shortening. So for example, if the net internal moment which is caused by the knee extensors, and the knee may be flexion, which is eccentric contraction, or extending concentric contraction, or it will remaining unchanged, which is isometric contraction. So this is about the example regarding to the knee extensors muscle. So during this, what this example will told, that this knee extensors muscle during the knee flexion it will go into the eccentric contraction, or during the extending it will going into the concentric contraction, or it will remain the unchanged, which is isometric contraction. So this is about the knee extensor muscle. Now during the ankle plantar flexors muscle, it will support increasing as stance phase, and it will proceeding until they become the only support in the most of the late stance. So what they told, this ankle plantar flexors muscle, it will support increasing as the stance phase will proceeds until it will become the only support in the most of the lat stances, because during the lat stance phase the only toe of and the during the toe position only the ankle plantar flexors are in touch with the ground. So that's why they told that it is the only support in the most lat stance phase. Now during swing phase, moments are very small. So according to the this small moment it will occur. So next is frontal plane movement. So in frontal plane movement, large internal abduction moment occur at the hip joint as well as the knee joint, and a small one occur at the ankle joint. So in frontal plane, the major movement occur, which is internal abduction, which will occur at the hip and knee joint, and the small movement occur into the ankle joint, into the frontal plane movement. Now this is largely by ligament forces across the knee and ankle joint. So mainly the ligament forces are which are provided the force into the knee and ankle joint. So next is transverse plane movement. So in transverse plane movement, internal moments tends to be small at each of the hip, knee and ankle joint. So in transverse plane, it is the internal forces that tend to be small at each of the hip, knee and ankle joint movement. So next is, what are the energy that are required into the what are the energy requirement during the walking? So the aim of locomotion is to move the body throughout the space within the at least expenditure of energy. So what is the aim of locomotion, It is to move the body through space with the least expenditure of energy. So what it say, locomotion means the movement of the body through one space to another space with the help of the least expenditure of energy, means energy will be into the small amount. What are the energy will be used during this locomotion? It should be in least amount. Now energy is the capacity to do work, which is measured into the joules, and energy is always measured into the joules. Muscles use metabolic energy to perform the mechanical work by the converting metabolic energy into the mechanical energy. So muscles will use as a metabolic energy, and it will perform as a mechanical work, which is converting work by the converting muscles will convert metabolic energy into the mechanical energy. So it will use as a mechanical energy. Next, the metabolic cost of locomotion is measured by oxygen consumption per unit of the distance travelled. Now, if a long distance is travelled but only a small amount of the oxygen is consumed, the metabolic cost of the particular gait is low. So, if the person has to walk for a long distance and and the small amount of the oxygen is consumed. So the particular gait pattern or particular gait is the metabolic cost of this particular gait and particular motion, it should be low, and the highest efficiency is attained when the least amount of energy is necessary to travel a unit of a distance, and also the highest efficiency which is attained when the less amount of the energy is necessary to travel a unit of a unit of distance. So this is about the energy requirement. Next is mechanical energy of walking, that we will see into the next video. Thank you.